Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Talk here on Hometown Sports Corner. I'm Jamie Hughes, and for the next little while, we'll be on here as we do each Thursday night, talking a little local sports. Of course, we've got high school football, soccer, volleyball to talk about. I got some news out of Alice Lloyd College we want to pass along to you. And then, of course, it's the week of the biggest race, or one of the biggest races of the season at Isom, Kentucky. One of my favorite shows is we have the Walter Pegg Combs Memorial over at Mountain Motor Speedway, and we're super excited about that. We're going to talk a lot about that. Hopefully have maybe even a couple people on here tonight talking to us about that race as well. And so if you're out and about, hit that like and share button, hit us up in the comment section, and let's talk a little sports here on this Thursday night. All right, but before we get much further into the show, let's start off with a few commercials, and then we'll be back to talk to you about all things sports here on Sports Talk.
In Kentucky, we understand what matters: family, friends, community. But sometimes we hurt. At Mountain Comprehensive Care Center, we believe in hope, and Mountain's behavioral health professionals want to be there for you every step of the way. Together, we can overcome the challenges of depression, PTSD, addiction, and so much more. With behavioral health centers throughout Kentucky, your story of recovery begins at Mountain Comprehensive Care Center.
Tim Short Chevrolet in Hazard, Kentucky is proud to sponsor tonight's sporting event. Todd Kraft and all of his staff want each and every athlete to know that we support all of their dreams. We also want to remind you, for your next vehicle, to stop by and give us a chance to earn your business, serving you for years and years to come. Tim Short Chevy.
Dale Hamilton is asking for your vote and support to re-elect him to Knott County Board of Education District Number 4. Dale has 32 years experience in education, 24 of those years being spent as a classroom teacher and a coach, and 8 years as your Board of Education member. He believes that every student in Knott County deserves the opportunity to succeed. We have invested in our students by investing in a brand new football facility. This facility will elevate our football, soccer teams, and track teams and middle and high school level teams for many years to come. Vote for strong leadership and experience. Re-elect Dale Hamilton, Knott County School Board Member District Number 4. Paid for by Dale Hamilton.
Knott County Judge Executive Jeff Dobson and the Knott County Fiscal Court is happy to once again be sponsoring another event featuring our Knott County youth. Judge Executive Dobson and the members of the Knott Fiscal Court encourage you to support all our Knott County youth in all of their academic and athletic endeavors. That positive reinforcement means the world to these student athletes. This reminder from Knott County Judge Executive Jeff Dobson and the Knott County Fiscal Court.
Re-elect David Messer, School Board District Number 1 in Knott County. David Messer has been on the Knott County Board of Education for 9 years. David believes our students deserve every opportunity to succeed. He fully supports our new football facility because our kids deserve the same as other districts around us. David Messer also supported and voted for a 14% pay increase for all certified and classified employees. They now have a 1-to-1 ratio for computers for all our students and a new boiler for the Jones Fork Elementary School. David Messer believes our school district is as strong as it has ever been. Vote for leadership and experience. Re-elect David Messer, School Board District Number 1 in Knott County. Paid for by David Messer.
Nelson Frazier Funeral Home is proud to sponsor tonight's sporting event. Nelson Frazier has the highest quality American-made funeral products, cremation services, mausoleum, and memorial markers, all with a family budget in mind. With 3 chapels located in Hyman, Martin, and now in Prestonsburg, Nelson Frazier Funeral Home is local people serving local families. On streets of glory. And welcome back to Sports Talk. And there's Cameron Brown in the comment section, says Knott County, 5th and 6th grade, with a big win in the first round of the playoffs tonight. So how about that? Congratulations, and thank you so much to Cameron for sharing that with us. Guys, good job there in the playoffs, and we hope you continue to succeed and have a ton of fun doing it. Guys, this is Sports Talk. That's kind of how we do things. If you got something on your mind, share it with us in the comment section. We'll talk a little bit of all things local sports. Do want to say again that we appreciate everybody that tunes in here and all of our good sponsors. Sports Talk, the weekly show I have here, is sponsored by Nelson Frazier Funeral Home, Tim Short Automotive, and Tim Short Chevy over in Hazard, Kentucky. The Knott County Fiscal Court, we appreciate Judge Jeff Dobson and the Maastrichts all for supporting us and allowing us in return promote these kids here weekly. The Bank of Hyman. I cannot say enough about how good Tracy Smith and the folks at the Bank of Hyman have been to me. All summer they sponsored us, even when things were a little bit slow. And now that things have sped up, they've stayed with us. And we just thank the fine folks at the Bank of Hyman for being such good sponsors. Frontier Behavioral Health. Again, so much thanks to them for everything they do. And also, again, thanks to everybody there for being good sponsors here at Hometown Sports. And last but not least, our newest sponsor that just came on board this past month, Mountain Comprehensive Care Center. They've got several locations in several of our counties that we cover here in sports. And just a staple here in Eastern Kentucky of the fine folks from Mountain Comprehensive Care Center. Good sponsors here for our weekly show. And we thank all of you for being here. And guys, as I said, we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. You guys hit the like and share buttons and so forth for us. But on my mind is Mountain Motor Speedway's Walter Pegg Combs Memorial. 4,000 to win, 325 to start. It's the American All-Star Series with Joseph Russ and those guys. They've started this series a few years back, and guys, it's just boomed, and it's become a really good thing for late model racing here in Eastern Kentucky. And this is going to be a fun show, guys. Saturday night, you want to make sure you're there. This isn't me just hyping something up to try to sell tickets. I stand by this to the point that you fellas come back and say, Jamie, I thought that's supposed to be a big deal. If it's not, but it will be, as we honor our Hall of Famer, Walter Pegg Combs. Check out this shirt here that Billy and Randy have made. Guys, I've said it for years, and they're not sponsors of mine. They're just friends of ours. But ain't nobody better than Graphic Impressions. And check out there, that's the 2024 Walter Pegg Combs Memorial T-shirt. Yes, sir, I hope to be wearing one of those next Thursday night. Probably going to buy me two. One that I can wear just any time, one I'm wearing whenever I want a fancy racing T-shirt to wear. But that is one sweet T-shirt, and I love those big, that's the way we remember racing when it was at its best. And when I was a boy, was those big wings on the side of there, and Miller Brother Construction out of Leeburn, Kentucky, Hawkeye Trucking, B&H Co., Hyman Auto Parts, and that white car with that number 12 down the side of it. We're mighty happy again. I tell you guys, he's one of my favorite drivers, and the fact that he, of course, lived in the community right down 5 miles from me, that made it even better, I guess you could say. But we enjoyed cheering him on. Then later on in life, got to meet him and interview him and watch him and how much he loved the sport. Even after he got before he wasn't able to go, he still would go. And I'm thankful. Again, got my buddy, I think now, Darren Sloan. Darren's working, but he's going to take about 10 minutes to talk to me, I think, still yet. Darren, how are you, brother?
Hey, man. I'm doing good. I'm trying to get some light in here. I don't know if it'll work or not.
You think if a man was in construction and also a constable, you think he'd have a flashlight?
I got one. I don't know how much that'd work.
Hey, that's better.
Hey,
Casey got to see you then. Hey, listen, brother, I know it's a busy time for you, but this Saturday night, let's make no secrets about it. This is going to be one of the funnest shows of the year, and we're looking forward to it, pal.
I'm anxious, man. It's going to be. I think it's going to be really good. It's set up right now to where there's so many things going on that night, that I'm so excited about it. The water peg race and 4,000 to win for the crates, and then it's also our last points night. Chance to the top three cars to get into their points, and then it's a really good payout for the sport mods, 800 to win that race. So it's going to be a pretty good show.
Let me say for Darren, he tried to not make that happen. He wanted to have the points race last weekend so that way wouldn't have to be. But Darren, I think it's going to be a blessing in disguise, man. I do. I think it's going to be a good thing that we're points racing. Everybody will have their A game on Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah. I've talked to Joe Rush about every day this week, and Joe's told me that he's got 25 late models confirmed already, and he's going to be putting them on here the next few days. Some guys that didn't come back for the Jamie Sloan race that had other obligations. So I think you're going to see a little bit more heavy hitters, I guess you could call them, that can win this thing. It's going to be exciting on that end, and then the points race, man. It all worked out, I think, great because we're going to have we're going to have quite a bit of
I'm doing a show here.
drivers there. I'll put her on camera, babe.
I did hear you singing about Jesus, so me and Darren don't care. You interrupt us, sing on about him. But
Yeah.
guess my baby girl, Darren, and still yet though, man. And if only the drivers he has posted came, add those guys to the guys we got, we're gonna have a show and a half. We are,
Yeah.
man. It's gonna be a fun race, brother.
It's going to be fun, man. But you got Fouts, and you know how Fouts is, and he's going. I think Fouts is no any way you look at it, he's going to be the guy to beat. You got Raymond coming off a win in his new car. You've got I probably ain't supposed to say it, but we're going to say it. You're going to see the O show back in the late model this Saturday. That's going to get a lot of fans talking and stirred up. You're going to have Tyler Arrington coming back. He gave Fouts all he wanted in the super late model race, and he was in a crate or a steel block. So he's putting his crate in, and he's coming back Saturday night. So I'm telling you, I think there's going to be 8 drivers and you got the Sice boys and Hayden Cardwell. Um, it's going to be an absolute barn burner. You can just put them in a hat and draw them out of who can win that thing.
And that, of course, the true winner is the fans. I wrote me a little song I was going to send you, just a little jingle about to the tune of "A Country Boy Can Survive," and it's got the fact that Brandon Fouts has got himself a Longhorn. He's been hard to beat since he's been in that seat. But anyhow, I figured you didn't have time for me to bother you with junk like that. But that's how much I've had this race on my mind this week, pal. It's going to be a fun one. And it's no secret. To win the race, Raymond Nichols said it best during the Jamie Sloan race. Raymond said, to win this thing, you got to beat Brandon Fouts when they get here. But Brandon will also be the first to tell you that this series has drivers that they win wherever they go. So it's going to be fun, man.
Yeah, and I tell you another driver that I'm really excited about getting back is Bailey Lowe. I mean, Bailey ran second to Fouts in the Jamie Sloan race, and if you went back and looked at the My Race Pass, he was catching him. He was faster than him at the end of the race. Every time he would get to him, a caution would come out. Um, but you're gonna have it's gonna be so good. And today I've been messaged by quite a bit of people. I think we're gonna have a really good sport mod count. I think we're gonna have a really good modified count. Hobby stock 4 cylinders. It's not going to surprise. We're averaging 55 to 60 cars. It's not going to shock me if we have 80 or 90 Saturday.
Oh, I think it'll be the largest car count of the season, man. And then the T-shirt, I just showed the people, and I guess you was probably still driving at that time. The T-shirt that Billy and Randy and those guys have designed it's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah, I think the world of Billy. Billy designed me some of my racing shirts back in the early part of this year, and then he designed the Jamie Sloan ones, or I'm sorry, the Walter or the Tim Breeden ones, and then he had asked me could he come back and do the water peg combs, and anytime at all that you can get those guys over there with their T-shirts and the quality of their shirts that they have, it's anytime we'll take Billy and his family and set them up and take care of them over at Mountain Motor.
Hey, Darren, some of the people here in the comment section want to know about the Hall of Fame inductions. We'll do that the following week. We'll add that to our championship night, right?
Yeah, that'll be on the 12th, and that's your baby, Jamie. You do such a great job with that, and I'm sure this next week you'll be putting that on our Facebook.
Yeah.
And get
We'll
people.
blow that out of the
Yep.
water. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody, we released that we were going to have 5 inductees, but the 6th one, you guys have said put 6 in every year, so I'm going to. And the number 6 man that will be inducted is Anthony Adams. The one-man gang. He had himself a remarkable season at 201 for about 3 years. He's won races at 5 different tracks. His health's not the best ever was, Darren, and I ain't going to wait till next year. So we're going to go ahead. There'll be 6. That's official. First time you guys have heard that. I haven't posted anything about that, but a Hall of Famer that's in there messaged me this week, and he said, why would we wait till next year to do this? And our thoughts and prayers are with Anthony Adams. And that's about all I'm going to go into that. But yes, there will be 6 inductees 2 weeks from now. Hey, Darren, with this kind of race, when we open the gates, and what's the time frame there for Saturday, brother?
Oh yeah, so it's a Saturday. Where the sun's going down a little bit earlier, where it's in the fall of the year. So we're going to open the pit gates at 2 p.m. and then we're going to open the grandstands at 4. I'm hoping to get drivers meeting started at 6:30. That's really just hindering on if the sun's off the track or not. You know, it might be a little bit after that, but anyway, everybody just needs to be prepared to have drivers meeting at 6:30 on that.
Hey, Darren, let's explain that to people too. We've tried it, folks. It's been tried for years. If you put the cars on the track before the sun goes down, you have a dust bowl. That's not good for the drivers, that's not good for the track, and it sure ain't good for the fans. But he's telling you guys, don't get there as late as normal. Plus, I'll be honest with you, if I have been to every race that they've had this year, I wouldn't want to miss this one, but I wouldn't show up late expecting to get my seat, Darren. There'll be people come to this race that's never been to Mountain Motor. Remember I said that. There'll be a bunch of fans that has never been. That series is growing, and now it's got a fan base that just follows it to all the tracks. And it's going to be a good turnout, man.
Well, Jamie, I know this is some of the people on here, they may say some bad words to me for saying this, but racing is, anyway, if you like it or not, it's the truth. Racing is going more farther away, especially locally. It's going farther away from the supers, and it's falling into the hands of the crates.
Yep.
And I'm going to be honest with you. If you give me 25 good crate drivers, I'd pay just as much money to watch those boys as I would Lucas Oil. And I mean that with everything in me. And I think, that this weekend, and I'm not just saying it to beef our place up. I'm being honest with you. I look for there to be 10 cars there. That's not going to surprise me if they're taking the checker flag at the end of the night. And like I said, you're getting your money's worth with everything going on.
I've been to races that cost $50 to get in, that paid $100,000 to win, and you still couldn't have said that about them. Now think about what you just said. 8. Let's go 8. Let's be safe. I'm going to dial you in a little bit. But even if there's 8 drivers that can win, how many races has anybody out there that's watching tonight been to in which they went to and thought perhaps 5 drivers could win? I know of 5 that I'd take tonight. You know what I mean? And that's putting Fouts on the top of the list. But the Sice brothers have, at one time, I wondered, could they be beat at Isom? And then some of the new guys that have come on this season just for that series, and then Raymond Nichols and Steve Stallings, and I hate to get started, but we've had some guys have really good runs here lately. And oh, by the way, Darren, 4,000 to win, you can throw that points thing out the window. Everybody now has got the gloves tight, and they're going for one of the last wins. And that series hasn't run in so long, they're going to be hungry just to get out there and race.
Yeah, I think so, and I could be wrong, and I'm like you are. I hate getting into the names of them, but I'm telling you, man, when that series comes to town, you have 2 Sice boys, and you have Hayden Cardwell, and you have Bailey Lowe that can win on. And let's not forget Mr. AJ Hicks, who's leading the series right now. You have 5 drivers right there with that series that's coming that can win. You have your Brandon Fouts and your Raymond Nichols and your Oscar McCown and your Tyler Arts. And Jamie, I might push it back up to 10 on you, man.
You've already sold me on 9. you may be. And folks, I know this fella. He knows somebody he ain't telling us. But that's okay. I don't blame him for not telling everybody just yet. But there's some phone calls still yet being made, right there.
Yeah, they're
calling.
I I'm going to be honest with you, and as a kind of director, whatever you want to say, this might not be the thing that people might say. That don't make sense that he says that. But out of the 25 that's confirmed, I'm certain there's going to be 3 or 4 of those guys that won't row into town. But there's going to be 3 or 4 guys that we don't know who's coming, that the world don't know who's coming, that'll be there,
Yep.
and it'll be worth wanting to come watch.
I believe that wholeheartedly. But I can say, you can't, but I can say, I like the money staying right here. I hope that check's written and cashed down in Hyman or over in Whitesburg. That's just, Darren can't say that, but I can't. I'm going to cheer and have myself a big time. Hey, Darren, I know I got to let you go, but too, let's back up and speak about how important this is to Miss Combs, to the Combs brothers. They've been messaging. Walter Pegg's daughter said, make a post that I can share, and I did, and she shared it 2 minutes later. This means a lot to that family too, man. Their family loves this sport, and he gave so much to this sport. And he told me one time, he said, you know the best thing about racing? And I wondered, would it be about the trophies or would it be about how fast he could drive a car? He said, the best thing about racing is, he said, every Friday and Saturday night, I know where my family's at because they're with me at the racetrack. And that always stood out in my mind, Darren. Say what you want to about racing, but we know where our kids are, and we know what we're doing and where everybody's at on Fridays and Saturday nights. And Walter Pegg
Yeah.
was a special guy, dude.
That's the fact, Jamie. And yeah, first we want to say we appreciate his family for letting us honor him and have this race, and we want them to feel utmost at home. And hopefully we'll be able to set it up to where we can get them across the track, take a picture with the winner, and just get them involved as much as we possibly can. And I know you've got ideas that me and you ain't talked about that you're going to do to take care of that. But
I got
yeah,
one of his doors out here. I'm gonna try my best. I want to put the door on my side by side. That way I could take his wife maybe from her vehicle up to where she's sitting. But if I can't do that, I thought perhaps I put his door on the flag stand. But yeah, we're gonna do a bunch of cool stuff,
Yeah,
and it's gonna be a fun time, man.
Yeah, we'll do that, and you know that's like you said about the memories of it, man. Like on Water Peg, I really do think one day me and you's gonna have a one-on-one sit down. We're gonna interview about a lot of things, and you know one of those things. I'll be honest with you, and we won't get into detail about it, Jamie. And it's just the truth of the matter. So it's no secret. And maybe I shouldn't even open this can of worms, but we're going to because it's on my. I'm going to say it. I have been around the racing community since I've been old enough to talk, and I've been racing for 15 years now. And this is the most difficult, hardest year I've ever had in my whole entire life when it comes to racing, because I felt like I was in a thorn bush between racing or not racing, you know, for people to, because, and we know if you race and all that, how it's going to go. But I say that to say this, you know, over the past couple months, we got a little bit of a scare with my dad's health issues. He got some not good tests coming back, and this and that, and he just, you know, made me feel 2 inches tall in the garage. He had a car sitting there that was a winning car, and we've raced for so long. And he said, you know, he said these memories, when they're gone, you'll never get them back. And I said, we're going racing. It's no matter what, we're going racing. That's what we've done for 15 years. So I guess that's an interview for a later date. But it's
No, it's. I've told everybody. You listen. You've sacrificed, dude. Racers race. Back to Anthony Adams. One time they were at Thunder Ridge, and some fellas pulled up and thought they were going to block the main entrance because Thunder Ridge thought maybe they weren't going to be able to pay the full purse. And Anthony, they said, got back in his truck and said, as he was going back to his truck, said, I've come to race, and I'm going to race for a hot dog and Pepsi if I have to. You fellas better move. And they said the security guard told that guy that was from another state, said, you better move your trailer because that guy's fixing to pull through here whether you blocking the road or not. And you know, racers race. And so, Darren, you know, you sacrificed that. But I do want to say, too, I think this thing's went good. It's re-energized the racing community to give everybody a place close to home to run. And it's kept a place with a ton of history alive and well. See Benny Feltner on here. He says Bob Miller's family's coming. We're going to have a good time, man. Next 2 weeks are going to be fun times at Mountain Motor.
Yeah, and you know, I'm the Jamie Sloan race really was close to my heart. That and everybody knows who Jamie was to me and what he was, and I never take nothing away from that race. But outside of that, these next 2 weeks, I'm more excited than I've ever been. I feel
Well,
like that it's
I
just
preached
going to go
Jamie's
so good.
funeral, okay? Jamie, the family Bible that my wife and I own, Jamie Sloan bought me. That's how close me and him were friends. And I know you were even closer than what me and him were. But, so yeah, we had that part. But this race is just our history.
Oh yeah,
Mo would want us to make sure everybody
yeah,
knows that this is bigger than a 4,000 American All-Star Series race, and that alone is big enough. But this is history for us, man. I've been to
yeah.
Florence and
And
been to
this is the truth. If I've told you the truth all night, the four-cylinder guys that have nothing to do with this Walter Peg Combs check and 4,000 to win want to win Saturday night just because it's on the Walter Peg Combs race. That
guar-
means something.
guarantee. Jason Hall told me that the first Walter Peg Combs race they had, I don't know if it was modified or it may have been four cylinders that he was running at the time. But he said, if I win one race this year, he said, I want to be on that night.
Yep.
And so it's history for us. Hey, Darren, before we let you go back to work, brother, let's take this time to thank your help. Man, I know you found out, and you'll echo what I'm saying. A lot of people's had to help you to pull off this season, and I know you thank all of them, right, pal?
Yeah. We just, on as far as the racetrack goes, I I really want to say um, that Rick has poured a whole lot into this track with me. We've put a lot of money in it. We've put a lot of time in it. We've put a lot of heart, blood, sweat, and tears in it.
I
But
ain't sure Rick leaves. I don't know if he leaves because every time I go, he's there. Anytime I go, I'm talking about for a race. I'm talking about to check the sound system or to stop in and say hello or to see what they're doing new. He's always there. I believe the man might just stay over there.
yeah, Rick loves it, man. He loves everything about racing. He absolutely loves it. And I mean, if that's the reason we done it for is because of love of the sport.
Sure.
But me and Rick has put a lot of time at not tooting our own horns. But I tell you what, and he don't even want no um, recognition of it. But I'm gonna give it to him. The place wouldn't go without Ralph Francis,
I knew
and
you
it's
were
just
getting
at the
ready to
end of
say
the
that. It's
day,
fact. Yeah.
Me and Ralph will. Ralph is a whole lot better of equipment operator than I am, but me and Ralph will grade the track, and Ralph will. We're like you just don't understand the time that it goes into that. That's yesterday. I went over and took the grader and graded the mud holes out of the bottom of the track, and it dried out. And Ralph met me at 10 this morning, and we were just constantly working the track, grading it, and the go kart track, grading it, moving the staging lane. It never ends. And Ralph has just been. He's so good at what he does, man. He's slick on it. He's the best operator on that racetrack that I've seen, and I think it shows because we've been getting. It's easy for me and Rick to take the credit and say, "Oh, Isom's going great and this and that," but it takes a really good operator on that grader to get that track surface where it needs to be, and I got to give Mr. Francis the credit on that one.
Hey, and if anybody wants to question that or think maybe he's just talking promoter talk, no, log on and check the times out. Darn, there's never been a season in which track records have been broke more than this year. And that's just a testament of how hard everybody's working on making the track good.
Hey, and let me say this, because I know we got a lot of racers on here right now, and we got a lot of people that's got a lot of opinion, and that's just like everything else we do in life, Jamie. That's
Can't
like
please
me.
them all.
I referee ball games that I think when I walk into the gym, I say, "What? I'm an absolute fool." And then 5 minutes after the game's over, and I get in my car, I'm on the phone with Thacker, wondering when my next game is. It's just a love for things. But no matter what you do, if it's reffing, if it's coaching, if it's doing construction work, being a constable, owning a racetrack, selling insurance, whatever you're going to do, there's always going to be people that's going to be naysayers, and I've learned that over the years. There's going to be people that's going to try to knock you down and things, but you just can't let that control you and dictate you. But I will say this. Well, I said that to say this. Man, there's been times over there, Jamie, that the weather has been 90 degrees and we've prepped that track one way and got an absolute phenomenal track. Go back the next week, prep it the same way, and it's 10 degrees colder and we've got holes in the track. And I'm like, what went wrong? Like, we're learning how to, like, the humidity and the temperature and the cloud coverage. You don't understand what that goes into prepping the track throughout the week. And we've got pretty close at figuring it out what we need.
Yeah, and you guys have done good. And oh, by the way, I won't speak for them. They just getting started. There'll be a lot of improvements coming right there.
Yeah. I don't ever want to put the horse or the buggy before the horse, but I will say if I can promise you, if and this is how confident I'm saying it, if Darren Sloan has something to do with Isom next year, it will be resurfaced, and that's how confident I am on that. You know what? Believe it or not, Jamie, I didn't have to go. We don't have to go to Tennessee to get it. We don't have to go to 411 and get it. We have found clay 0.2 miles from the track.
I've been told that more times than one.
It's there, and it's
Yeah.
we've got the equipment and the resources, and it will be put on the track before next season. So I'm excited about that. Um, and we look to upgrade bleachers and get really good seating in there and parking, and we're gonna stage probably a totally different way next year. We're gonna use that drag strip a whole lot to be staged on and to get the cars in front of the fans before they go out on the track, and we've just got so much things that we want to do. So we're just I just want everybody to know that we've kind of been handled. We was handed a fumble in the middle of the season here, and we've kind of just had to take what we got. And but this off season, we can finally put our twist to it. We have enough time to do that. I really think a lot of people's going to be happy.
Go-kart track coming up full force next season. We'll talk about all that stuff later. I could talk all night, me and you could, about this. But
Yeah,
but again, the big thing at hand, Saturday, Walter Pegg Combs Memorial. Gates open about 2. Concession stands will be fired up, so come and tailgate or whatever they want to call that, and sit and talk to everybody and just have a big time Saturday evening, right?
yeah. And let me say, before we get off here, once again, to everybody that's on here, we've got the AAS race coming, 4,000 to win, Walter Pegg Combs Memorial, 25 late models so far is confirmed. It will not shock me if we have 30 late models on the ground
Well, they've
Saturday.
had two. They've had two since we've been on here.
Yeah,
He
well,
posted
that's
2
a
while
good
we've
thing.
been on here. So yeah,
Good
I've
deal.
been watching.
So
Yeah.
that's great. And let me say this really quick, Jamie, because I think this needs to be said. Some people are getting so confused over our point system, and maybe you can help
Yeah.
with this. I've had a lot of drivers saying that they think only the top threes getting the race on the 12th.
No.
I hope we have way more than 3 cars show up on each class on the 12th.
Yeah.
It's just kind of it's a format to where the top 3 drivers is who's going to race for the championship on the 12th. We still want as many cars to come as we can get.
And it's
Um,
the fall classic too. So
yeah,
if we
it's
do
not
this
the
again
season.
next year, we'll do a track championship and a fall. But darn,
Yeah,
it was the cool. You had a great idea. Probably I think one of the best ideas of the season was to do this. You couldn't crown a champion on a track that you guys took halfway through the year. But we can
exactly.
have. We've had a fall classic, and it's going to be cool, man. It's made things
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, for sure. And a lot of some people's got upset about it because they're taking it as a track champion, and that's not
Oh
what it is.
no,
It's a little fall shootout ordeal we have, and it's just something. Honestly, it's just something that's
I thought we were on Wi-Fi. We might have been on cellular data for the first half of the show, and that's the only thing technical wise that I can think of that would have caused that. But anyhow, I am back here, and I hope all of you are doing well and tuning us in. Uh, Let us know where you're watching from, and hit that like and share button for us again, as we always asked you to do. Apologize to my buddy Darren Sloan. We didn't cut his interview short, we cut the show short. But we're back on the air. As Darren told us, though, Walter Pegg Combs Memorial, 4,000 to win for the American All-Star Series race. Guys, it's going to be a dandy. You're going to want to make sure you're in Isom, Kentucky, Saturday. Join us. Bring your whole family. Be with us. If you haven't been to the races, maybe you're one of those guys that said, man, I used to go to the races all the time, and I haven't been in forever. Well, this would be a great time for you to come out and bring your family. We think you can have a good time, and you'll be treated with a lot of really good racing. In addition to the 4,000 to win American All-Star Series race, points racing for the Fall Classic. Again, as Darren and I talked just before we were interrupted with the cell signal deal there, the Fall Classic will determine the top 3 in points. After this week will come back, and they'll have a chance to be the Fall champion. So you technically are racing to get in. Like for the 4-cylinders right now, the top 4 are close enough that any one of them could be leading the points after Saturday night. The 4th person, his night's over after Saturday. Now he'll come back and race next week and could win the payday. But he can't be the fall champion because you got to be in the top 3. You got to be in it, as they say, to win it. And so that's going to make things kind of fun, be a little twist to things. And we want you all to come out and enjoy that race with us. And like I said, bring your whole family. One thing probably has changed in the racing since some of you were there. There's a time whenever, not that long ago, it seemed like there's a lot of racing, but then there's also a lot of things that happened off the racetrack. Those things don't happen very often now. I have to say, things have gotten a lot better, and you'll come, and you're going to come and agree with me on it. If you come and visit with us, that we've done a much better job of keeping the non-racing things away from the racetrack. And so come and be with us. And won't you please, guys, again, I have several of you that were watching and commenting in the comment section. But we just rebooted the computer, and we're right back at it again here, talking for a few more minutes about the racing action. But there's so much more to talk about too, guys. Again, high school football is in full swing. I don't know if it's going to be any better, just be honest with you. It's district time in the mountains, and we have all the different football teams start their districts, or perhaps they started on this past weekend, and maybe this coming Friday night you're playing for home field advantage. Some of the teams didn't get a play last week. It was their bye week. And now they'll be excited. They'll be pumped up and fired up, as they say, to get out on the football field this Friday night. And we invite you guys to get out and go to as many of those as you can, okay? But, folks, I'm going to take a commercial break, and I'll be back with more right here from Hometown Sports Corner. Stick around.
Nestled in the mountains of Appalachia, along the Purpose Road, is a hidden gem, Alice Lloyd College. For 100 years, ALC has been providing opportunities.
Opportunity to learn from the best.
Opportunity to work for my education.
Opportunity to serve my community.
Opportunity to become a leader.
Opportunity to find my life's purpose.
Apply now to find your purpose at Alice Lloyd College.
No matter what town or community you live in, there's a Tim Short dealership nearby. That's because our family of dealerships are dedicated to serving the folks throughout Eastern Kentucky. Our employees are your friends and neighbors, helping to support the local economy and provide safe and affordable transportation to everyone that shops the family of Tim Short dealerships. Our entire inventory can be found with the click of a button at timshortautogroup.com. Visit us online and join the thousands of customers that took the short drive to satisfaction today.
Nelson Frazier Funeral Home is proud to sponsor tonight's sporting event. Nelson Frazier has the highest quality American-made funeral products, cremation services, mausoleum, and memorial markers, all with a family budget in mind. With 3 chapels located in Hyman, Martin, and now in Prestonsburg. Nelson Frazier Funeral Home is local people serving local families. On streets of glory.
Just want to watch the game.
Dad, turn on the ceiling fan. Use the gray remote. Hit power, then input.
It's not working.
That's the silver one.
It might be difficult to understand what all the remotes on your coffee table do. But with a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent in every county, at least it's easy to get great insurance. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Next time, I'll just go to the game.
Hello, my name is Harold Kraft, and I'm running to be your next District 3 board member. I would like to wish the students, teachers, and staff, both certified and classified, a great school year, crafting the future for the next generation of Knott County students. I'm Harold Kraft, asking for your vote, and I paid for this advertisement.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
And welcome back, guys. And I am actually using my old system that I used to use to do this show to finish up tonight's show. Again, earlier we had a little problem. We got some brand new equipment that we're getting ready to use starting next week, but the commercials have not been put in that new equipment. And so for that reason, we'll finish out the show here tonight just like we are. But thanks again to all of you that have tuned in, all of you that are hitting the like and share button. We want you to continue to do that. Got my baby girl here behind me, and she and I have been watching videos, and we've been reading storybooks and had ourselves just a good evening. But as we finish up here, guys, we want to say to everybody that's out and about, be careful, be safe. And Autumn, we want everybody, all the little children out there, to enjoy their fall break, don't we? And enjoy your time off from school.
Dad,
But,
got a message.
yeah, it's okay. We'll go back and read the messages from everybody after the show's over. But and so she's sitting here kind of helping me tonight, and she also likes to watch her some Bluey on the iPad. And so she's asked me to do that. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, you like that Bluey, don't you?
I like Blue because he just do it.
Yeah, he's kind of funny. Yeah.
It's also Bluey the bike.
All right.
But a Bluey video.
She's watching a Bluey video, everybody. But again, Walter Pegg Combs Memorial in Isom, Kentucky at Mountain Motor Speedway on Saturday, $4,000 to win. The American All-Star Series, and then we'll have the fall points races coming to an end. I could talk all night about that dirt track racing. You guys know me and how much I love it. But we're going to talk some football. We want to, of course, talk about the Alice Lloyd College Top 10. Got herself a new Top 10. Of course, Prestonsburg Black Cats, if you haven't heard, picked up a big W. Prestonsburg beat Johnson Central. Beg your pardon, Prestonsburg beat Betsy Lane. Betsy Lane was number 1. Prestonsburg was number 2. They met Friday night, and Prestonsburg won, and that moves them into the number 1 spot. Johnson Central, the Golden Eagles, got a big W, and they go from 4 to 2nd. But they have a huge contest ahead of them this weekend. Let's talk more about that in a minute. Belfry up to number 3. Lawrence County from 7th to 4th. Perry Central from 10th to 5. Got themselves a nice win over Martin County. I watched all of that one and then went back and watched parts of it again. Perry Central's for real, guys. Got a tough schedule, but they have really done good. And at 4-2, they're up to number 5. Betsy Lane did fall. They're down to number 6, but still yet, that's the first loss of the season for that team. They got a great running game. They played defense. I feel like the fact they were on the road probably cost them that one at Prestonsburg. Those two teams were that even to that close. Those that were there will vouch for me. It was a fun game. But Prestonsburg and home field advantage willed their way to win. Betsy Lane down to 6. Tough night for Clay County. Senior night, or homecoming night actually is what it was. And everything was good except for the fact they played Rockcastle County. And the Rock was rolling Friday night, and they beat Clay County down in Manchester. So Clay moves down to 7 in their top 10. Knott County Central. Patriots get the W, and they're moved up to the 8th spot. And they'll play on the road this week. Martin County, all is not lost, but you did lose, and so that drops you down to the number 9 spot. And the Hazard Bulldogs drop a couple spots back to back. Who can say they played the schedule Hazard's played in the last 3 weeks? Won't get much easier for them as the Bulldogs go. I think it's Raceland. Am I right? I know I am on that. And let's get you some of the games now. Let's talk about October the 4th games. Should be fun for you sports fans out there and about tomorrow night. You can pick several different places, go to several different games, and not be disappointed. That's my prediction about tomorrow night. Belfry at Lawrence County. That's 2 top 10 teams right off the bat. Lawrence County, having yourself a good season, but here comes Belfry. I'd say Belfry gets that W. And before I go any further, there's a post on our Facebook page here. There's 8 games. Anybody that can guess all 8 games correctly will put your name in a hat. We'll draw on next week's show for a $100 bill. Now, if nobody gets all 8 of them right, we'll put that $100 bill in the following week's show. If this thing goes good and you guys like it and we get a bunch of people playing, we'll continue to do it. It's called the Pick 8, Crazy 8, whatever you want to call it. Just take a stab at it. It costs you nothing. It's free, so it's not gambling or anything like that. It's just our way of giving to you fans. We try to find ways to give back to the fans. And I thought rather than giving some gift cards and a t-shirt, we just give you a chance to win a little money. And that'll help you go to the next week games if you win that. But with that said, Belfry's at Lawrence County. I'm going to pick Belfry to win that one. As we scroll down some other games, Newcastle, Virginia at Phelps. Phelps is 2-2 this year. It's not the same Hornets team that maybe you've seen in the past. I'm going to take Phelps to win that one. As I said, Corbin at Johnson Central. Golden Eagles, you're up to number 2 in my top 10. But that Red Hound team is, go ask Hazard. They're crazy good. Loaded with a bunch of talented players, a lot of different places. Corbin's always good, but this year they got so many different weapons they can hit you with. The quarterback had over 1,000 yards going into last Friday night's game. And I'm going to take Corbin to spoil the Apple Day over in Johnson County. Hope I'm wrong. I'd like to be wrong on that. Also down excited about Apple Day is the kids over in Paintsville. They had a tough matchup against Leslie on Saturday. A short time. They played on Saturday and they got to turn around and play on Friday night. They'll host East Ridge. I'm going to say the Tigers get that W, though. I'll give them that win. Pikeville playing host to Ironton, Ohio. Guys, that's always a good program up there at southern central Ohio area. And don't be surprised if that ain't a matchup and a half. But I'm going to take Pikeville to win that one. Nevertheless, Harlan, the Green Dragons at Middlesboro. That'll be a fun one. I'm going to say Middlesboro, though, makes it 3 in a row. They lost their first 3 games of the season, but I'm going to say the Yellow Jackets go even Steven. With that win, they'll be at 500 if they can beat the Green Dragons of Harlan. As I said, Knott County at Floyd Central. I know everybody says he's just a homer. No, not all the time. But I'm going to take Knott County to win this one. Highway 80 from Hyman to Eastern Kentucky. I still call it McDowell and Hi-Hat. I do that from time to time, but I know they always correct me real quickly and say it's Eastern Kentucky. Well, either way, just a short distance. I want that to be the biggest rival game in the mountains. I wish that would be our Knott County's #1 rivalry would be Floyd Central in all sports. Well, let's make it happen. Let's hype it up. Let's pack that place and have a big crowd over there for the football game tomorrow night. Hometown Sports Corner will be carrying that game for those of you that can't be there. Todd Meadows is going to come over and pick up the microphone for me and do that one. I can't be there, but I'm going to go early, set the equipment up for them, and you guys tune us in if you can't be there, but you need to go. Nothing like being there in person. And then how about Zeke Hurley, the boogeyman as they call him? He's being cleared. He's got a cask, big bright pink cask, by the way. I wish he'd got a different color. But when you're as tough as Zeke, it don't matter what color your cask is. He's going to play that football game with a cask on his arm. And he'll be ready to go. And I'd say he gets 12 tackles or more, even in a cask. That's my prediction for my buddy Zeke. Jenkins at Jackson County. I'm cheering for Jenkins. I want you to get the W. But I'm going to say Jackson County wins that one. I think they're better than what they've showed in a lot of cases this season. Powell County hosts McGoffin County. If you haven't watched the Pirates, they're trying to fly in under the radar. Nothing doing. They're for real. I will say the Pirates win that football game. Martin County at Prestonsburg. Prestonsburg's #1 team in our rankings. But Martin County's a wounded opponent. They went to Perry County, and Perry is much better than what everybody thought they were. I'd say Martin to be hungry. I know it's not normal to go against the number 1 ranked team, but Black Cats, you don't need to overlook this Martin County team. That'll be the biggest task at hand. And I'm 60-40. I'm 55-45. Leaning towards, and I know I'm not supposed to go against the home team, but just something tells me Martin County got something to prove. Coming off that loss to Purry, I want to say, I'm almost ready to say, but I can't. Cardinals, season's not over, but I'll go with the Black Cats to win that one. Right here, I just can't talk myself out of it. Home team, number 1 on our top 10. I'll take Prestonsburg to win that one. But remember, I struggled with that pick probably more than anyone I've had this season so far. And but a lot more good games out there. You guys send us the scores, send us pictures, let us know if somebody has a big game as soon as you can, and we'll post that on here for everybody. And we just keep sharing it up and having a big time, okay? Guys, again, I know we got a lot of you watching that I'm not able to bring up on this old system. That's another bad part about the old system. Let's see if I can't go to my computer and click just a tad bit here. But as I do that, you guys do me a big favor. Hit that like and share button for us. Will you do that? We would greatly appreciate that very, very much. I wondered if we went off the air when I was interviewing Darren. It appears that maybe not. And so, if not, then that's good too. But either way, we are on here and we're finishing up the show. And I got to take a commercial break. And I'll be back with more right here on Hometown Sports Corner.
Dale Hamilton is asking for your vote and support to re-elect him to Knott County Board of Education District Number 4. Dale has 32 years experience in education, 24 of those years being spent as a classroom teacher and a coach, and 8 years as your Board of Education member. He believes that every student in Knott County deserves the opportunity to succeed. We have invested in our students by investing in a brand new football facility. This facility will elevate our football, soccer teams, and track teams and middle and high school level teams for many years to come. Vote for strong leadership and experience. Re-elect Dale Hamilton, Knott County School Board Member, District Number 4. Paid for by Dale Hamilton.
Just want to watch the game.
That turn on the ceiling fan. Use the gray remote. Hit power, then input.
It's not working.
That's the silver one.
It might be difficult to understand what all the remotes on your coffee table do. But with a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent in every county, at least it's easy to get great insurance. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Next time, I'll just go to the game.
Re-elect David Messer, School Board District Number 1 in Knott County. David Messer has been on the Knott County Board of Education for 9 years. David believes our students deserve every opportunity to succeed. He fully supports our new football facility because our kids deserve the same as other districts around us. David Messer also supported and voted for a 14% pay increase for all certified and classified employees. They now have a 1-to-1 ratio for computers for all our students and a new boiler for the Jones Fork Elementary School. David Messer believes our school district is as strong as it has ever been. Vote for leadership and experience. Re-elect David Messer, School Board District Number 1 in Knott County. Paid for by David Messer.
Hello, my name is Harold Kraft, and I'm running to be your next District 3 board member. I would like to wish the students, teachers, and staff, both certified and classified, a great school year, crafting the future for the next generation of Knott County students. I'm Harold Kraft, asking for your vote, and I paid for this advertisement.
Nestled in the mountains of Appalachia, along the Purpose Road, is a hidden gem, Alice Lloyd College. For 100 years, ALC has been providing opportunities.
Opportunity to learn from the best.
Opportunity to work for my education.
Opportunity to serve my community.
Opportunity to become a leader. Opportunity to find my life's purpose.
Apply now to find your purpose at Alice Lloyd College.
No matter what town or community you live in, there's a Tim Short dealership nearby. That's because our family of dealerships are dedicated to serving the folks throughout Eastern Kentucky. Our employees are your friends and neighbors, helping to support the local economy and provide safe and affordable transportation to everyone that shops the family of Tim Short dealerships. Our entire inventory can be found with a click of a button at timshortautogroup.com. Visit us online and join the thousands of customers that took the short drive to satisfaction today.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and
guys, again, we're about ready to wrap up the show. We talked. I was eating a few grapes. That's my supper here, some grapes. But we talked about some dirt track action taking place over in Isom, Kentucky this Saturday. I'm going to get choked on that last grape. That's the beauty. I know I'm not very professional to be doing that, but we just country folks, right? Having a country show here, talking sports. I love it. I appreciate all of our good sponsors, though, and we'll try to do a better job being more professional next week. But we've had dirt track racing for the first half of the show. We talked high school football for the second half of the show. I do want to say, too, guys, this week's driver of the week, sponsored by Care Cottage, was Raymond Nichols. He is week number 6, driver of the week. I also want to say one more time, if you're just tuning in, go over and find the post that we made. Looks like about 61 of you have shared it, and over 140 of you have voted. All you got to do is pick the winner of 8 games. If you got all 8 of them right, then we'll give you a chance to win $100 on next week's show. Just some fun. Again, don't cost you anything other than your time. Let me say, too, congratulations to Layla Sullivan, young lady for Perry Central. Picked up her 500th assist night before last against the Hazard Bulldogs. And I want to congratulate her on that. Outstanding job there. Soccer coming up. The boys' 53rd District Soccer Tournament will be at Hazard's Daniel Field. And that soccer action going to take place in the boys on Tuesday. Perry Central and Knott County will play at 6. And Hazard and Letcher will play after that game, about 8 o'clock is what they predict that game to be. The night before, October the 7th, that's a Monday, Letcher and Knott Central will play each other, and Perry Central and Hazard will play in the second game, in those games also. So the girls play on Monday, and the boys play on Tuesday from Daniel Field in beautiful Hazard, Kentucky. So you're going to want to get out and go out and support them. Do want to give a big shout out to the Knott County Central boys soccer team. They picked up their first win of the season on Monday night and got their second win on Tuesday. Back-to-back wins, Pike Central and Shelby Valley. Then I also want to congratulate my daughter, Mallory Hughes, and her soccer team. The Lady Patriots got their first win as they won 7-1. Their score was 7-1 over Shelby Valley Tuesday. Then I want to congratulate everybody that participated in the golf state tournament. Big shout out to all of them. And then I want to say congratulations to Knott County Central's volleyball team. They and Breathitt, number 1 and number 2 in most people's mind, played this week, and the Lady Pats won 3-0. And then I think that's just about it. A big shout out to Landry Collett from Leslie County. Landry hit some milestones. Threw for his 202nd touchdown. Think about that. Times those by 6. Think of how many points he scored. Then he also had a school record 98-yard touchdown pass. And the kid's had over 1,000 yards this year, and he has certainly been worth the price of admission. Then I want to congratulate a young lady who goes to my church, Topanga Thacker. She won a regional track and field meet. And then we got several people that tuned in to some grade school games we done this week. We'll have more of those this coming week, hopefully. Then we'll have high school football interviews to show you next week. We'll be recapping the Walter Pegg Combs, and then we'll be talking about the Hall of Fame. Now, I made an announcement earlier. Let me make it again. Anthony Adams, the one-man game, will also go in with this year's Hall of Fame class. Everybody kept saying, Jamie, you need to do 6. Some said you need to do 10. I still think 10's probably too many. We're going to up it to 6. And with the recommendation from a Hall of Famer that's already in the Hall of Fame, we're going to go ahead and put Anthony Adams in this year. And Anton, as I call him, was one of the guys that I told you all last week that was going in next year. I didn't name names, but I said there's 3 guys that we pretty much have already said is going in. When I say we, the committees and the other Hall of Fame inductees agreed with me. But we're going to go ahead and make that happen this year. And also with that said, I want you guys to be praying for my buddy, Anthony Adams. We'll try to see if we can't talk him into coming and being with us next weekend. Not this Saturday, but next weekend. With that said, Bob Miller and the Miller family were longtime supporters and sponsors of Walter Pegg Combs. I think that Barb's going to get to be there Saturday night. If she does, then we would do the right thing and go ahead and give her Bob's Hall of Fame certificate and